I've escaped the chaos, but I have never felt more anxious. That is what a woman said to me after finally leaving a string of toxic relationships. Now, she had dated controlling men, men who criticized her. She was walking on eggshells, and she was really questioning her worth. And eventually she left because it just did not feel good to her. And she worked on herself. She learned about boundaries, attachment styles, red flags, all the things that you probably should learn about. And she promised herself that she would never, ever end up in this kind of relationship again. But there was a twist because she had met someone who seemed completely different. Now, he was not her usual type. So he wasn't controlling, he wasn't jealous, he didn't get angry, he wasn't demanding. And she thought, I have finally met a healthy man. But slowly another pattern emerged. He would disappear for days. He would see her only when it suited him. He would reply only when he had time. And plans were like always uncertain. And when she needed emotional support, he was rarely available. So it was a really interesting dynamic because she wasn't being controlled anymore, but she was now being kept at a distance. And without realizing, she became more anxious than she had ever been before. She stopped sleeping properly and she was constantly checking her phone and she was replaying the conversation, looking for clues as to what was going on with him. And she eventually started asking herself what was wrong with me. But nothing was wrong with her. Her nervous system was doing exactly what it was designed to do. It was flagging up uncertainty in relationships. And even when the mind would just come up with theories like, he's busy or he's got family issues, and she would spend time analyzing and creating stories, it just was still not feeling comfortable. So emotional unavailability does not have to break your heart, and it really does change the relationship that you have with yourself. And today I want to show you 5 ways that being around an emotionally unavailable man and how that can affect your body, your mind, and your soul. So, the first thing is you just stop trusting yourself. When you notice inconsistency and something feels off, and then he explains it, and he's just available enough, you explain it away too. And eventually you stop asking, what am I noticing? What's going on here? And you start thinking, I'm imagining this. He's good in so many other ways. And the relationship actually starts teaching you to just distrust your own perception, and you start ignoring the signals that your body is giving off. The second thing is you become addicted to uncertainty. Now, your nervous system begins organizing itself around waiting for texts, waiting for plans, waiting for reassurance, waiting for him to become the version of himself that you occasionally glimpse. And eventually, peace stops feeling unfamiliar. Consistency actually starts feeling boring. So even if you do go on other dates and people are not being like that, because you've been addicted to uncertainty, chaos starts feeling like chemistry. Because chaos feels productive. It feels like you're working towards something. Every difficult conversation, every breadcrumb of affection, every moment of closeness convinces you that the relationship is finally moving forward. Or it reminds you, this is the good times and this is why I'm with this person. And your body actually starts beginning to adapt to the cycle of deprivation and reward. And when love is withheld, you just feel anxious. And when it's finally given, you experience this intense relief and excitement and hope, and that pain cycle is closed. And over time, your nervous system starts associating the unpredictability with the love itself. So you actually stop craving consistency, and it depends how long you stay around emotionally unavailable people for. The longer you stay around them, you just start being trained to avoid consistency and crave the next moment of relief when someone is unavailable and they give you something. Now, this isn't love. This is a nervous system that's become conditioned to chase what should never have been scarce in the first place. The third thing is you lose your identity. So you stop asking, what do I want? Everything becomes organized around him, his moods, his availability, his timing, his needs. And without realizing it, your life becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. Not because he controlled you or asked you to become that way, or he didn't even train you to, but because this uncertainty consumed so much of your energy, his actions, time, and efforts are now put on a pedestal, and everything is organized around the next time you can get that. The fourth thing is you start hating yourself. Now, this is the most dangerous one because you become convinced that if you were just a little bit prettier, or if you were calmer, or if you were less emotional or more secure, then he would actually choose you properly. So instead of questioning whether the relationship is meeting your needs, you spend years trying to become easier to love. Now, this is one that can slip under the radar unless you are truly conscious about it. Because you might not think that in your conscious mind, but you might be trying to become somebody different because it's so unclear. You don't have a clear message as to why this is happening. So you invent stories about why you're not good enough, and nothing destroys self-worth faster than constantly having to earn affection that should be freely given, especially in a relationship. The fifth thing is your body just stays in survival mode. Now, this isn't just an emotional thing, it's physical. So your sleep could change, your digestion could change, your energy starts disappearing, and you stop feeling like yourself. You stop feeling playful and creative and alive, and your body is constantly scanning for emotional certainty that just never arrives. And no human being is able to thrive here because it's just a waiting room to nowhere, and it's such a high expenditure of energy to just be so alert and staying in survival mode. So, the biggest lie emotionally unavailable relationships teach you is this: they convince you that the problem is your sensitivity and your needs, and it really isn't. Your mind isn't reacting because you're weak or because you have more work to do on minimizing your experience and controlling your reactions. So don't put your efforts there. Spend time getting to know why your body is reacting in this way. And it's reacting because you spent months or years trying to create safety in a relationship that never consistently offered it. So the question isn't, how do I stop feeling this way? The question is, why have I become so committed to adapting to something that's costing me myself? Because that is a really huge cost. And the right relationship does not require you to become less of yourself to keep it. It allows more of you to come forward and more of you to emerge. So the most dangerous relationships don't actually look toxic. Sometimes they keep you waiting, waiting for the call, waiting for the text, waiting for them to become the person that you think that they could be. And while you're waiting, think about what is happening to your life. Is it getting smaller? Is your self-worth getting quieter? Is your nervous system getting louder? Because waiting has become part of your relationship identity, and love should not feel like a reward you have to earn. It should feel like somewhere that your body can finally let go and finally rest. And if your partner isn't available to have a full relationship, then I'm here to tell you that it's not the right one for you.